God was doing something strategic here. He was preparing David for kingship before giving him the throne and the crown. God didn't just anoint David and say, okay, yeah, that's it, go and take it. He knew one way or the other that David was not ready. Now, you see, Saul had sons. And normally, those sons should have been the king because all their lives, it's just like the royal family as well, they're born into this. All their life, they've been trained to take that position. So it's like when kings of the land, I remember recently when I think one of the kings, I think in the Middle East, was going to visit the president of the United States and he took his son there. So that's what you do. You introduce your children gradually to the throne. So if you pass on, they can easily step into the shoes. But David didn't have that. David was a shepherd's boy. So God knew that I have appointed you, but he knew that he needed that experience. He knew that it was important for David, it was vital for David, but for him to be able to perform, to walk closely with the king, to be trained. And so what did God do? God placed David in the palace. And here is how God prepared David for the throne. Number one, David in the palace gave him it gave him a strategic exposure. Now, David gained first-hand access to royal life by being in the palace. He saw the pressures of leadership, the demands of governing, and the culture of the palace. It was getting acquainted to him. This was his training ground. So God put him there because he wanted to see how it runs, to see how to be a king, which I believe he gained first-hand experience. David would have attended meetings with Saul because it was as his armor bearer and also as his personal musicians. Because like I said, we didn't know when that spirit came upon him. So David would have gone for meetings. It was a training ground. Number two, God used that to test David spiritually. God taught David patience, restraint, and humility. When Saul realized that, oh, you're the chap that is going to take over the throne. Saul tried to kill David on so many occasions. And David always had an opportunity to kill Saul first. But he waited on God's timing instead of forcing his own. He could have killed him and said, well, I'm the king anyway. It's self-defense. I was just minding my business. You were the one looking after my life. But David always remembered that Saul was God's anointed. And on that, he did not. He practiced restraint, patience, and allowed God. There was a time in the Bible he said, I would allow God to do what he needs to do, that he's going to fall. I think one of his guys were telling him that you have an opportunity to kill him. He said, no, you dare not touch the Lord's anointed.